good afternoon, everybody. Here we are, middle of May, about a week after my last video here. We're out in the middle of the woods, kind of close to the Champlain Valley of Vermont. Let's just say northern Vermont. And I'm at an old cellar hole, and just walking the old cart road, and I got kind of close to it near the barn. I said I'll just start walking the road first. A lot of people check around the cellar hole, but not the road. 3 minutes in, I get my first signal, and check it out. I'll look at it just for a second. You know what that is? That's a freaking heel plate, folks, with one of those hexagonal gaps in it. It's all just folded up. So I'll try to be, it's not folded past, too much past 90, so I think if I heat it up in boiling water and then try to straighten it out gradually, that's probably going to be my best bet. That's what I found to work on some of these brass items. I've broken a few, but I've saved a few by getting them really hot and like boiling water and then trying to slowly ply them back out straight. So that's a sweet find. Nice little heel plate to start the day. I'm encouraged. Hopefully we can find some more stuff. Let's walk the cart road first and see if we can get some more goodies, and then we'll move on to the cellar hole. There's about 4 or 5 cellar holes over a 2-mile stretch on this road, so I don't know if I'll make it to them all day, but it's always a place I can come back to. That's a great start to the day. All right, on to the next. And here we go. Looky here, folks. Another music read lies in wait. That one's totally complete. I will be able to get a note off of that and add it to my collection. I'm going to be like digging with 7 on his harmonica reeds. I'm seeming to find these almost on every hunt now. But a nice old relic. We'll clean it up and get you a note in the green velvet wrap-up. All right, on to the next find. Well, folks, I'm digging a ton of these. There's these mid-signals everywhere, and there's apple trees here at the cellar hole. So, man, you're digging a lot of shotgun shells and some of these, rifle casings here. But you know what? You got to dig those mid-signals, at least on my F2, because that's the signal for an Indian head penny or other stuff. And you know what? I got myself some more ammo, but it's better. Look at this ammo. Same as the shotgun shell, but got myself another old musket ball. Medium caliber. Probably not a Brown Bess musket, probably a later style musket, but heck yeah, I'll take any old lead like that any day. We'll clean it up and put it on the green velvet wrap-up for you. All right, let's find some more stuff, guys. On to the next. All right, we're back, folks. We're still walking the old cart road. I did walk up and check out another old cellar hole back up in the woods, and it was just full of trash. I mean, there were buckets and modern crap there. Obviously, it lived there all the way into the 20th century, and there was so much iron and crud, I couldn't even make out a good signal. I was digging up parts of the roof and stuff, so I'm just moving on back down the road. There's a couple more cellar holes back down this way, and I'm just walking the roads. You know, people like to check the cellar holes, but they don't check the roads that often. And you can find a lot of shotgun shells, but you can still find these, folks. Look at that right there. Got myself an Indian. I'll take it. It's a little crusty, but amazingly, it was pretty shallow. Let's see if I can get a date for you here. I'll probably get a date. That's actually a pretty good condition for being that shallow. Let me get back and get with you, and I'll get you a close-up shot of the date. I can't tell. It looks like, from what I can tell, it's going to be 18-something. But anyway, good find. I'll take it. Indian head penny in the cart road. On to the next. All right, I'm back, folks, and I just wanted to illustrate really quick why it's always important to dig the midtones. You can let yourself get totally frustrated by digging all these shotgun shells. So look at this. This is my F2 right here, and I'm going to swing it over one of these mini shotgun shells. You can see that 54, 55, 52, something like that. Let's go over here to this Indian head penny on the ground right here. 51, 55, maybe upper 40s. Okay, so maybe about 2 or 3 clicks below what the shotgun shell read. Shotgun shell, Indian. And this machine is a simple machine. It does have tone ID, but the numbers are so close, the sound almost identical. So if it's 5 or 6 inches deep or 3 inches deep, the numbers could be almost the same. You got to dig that, and you got to dig that. That's the way you got to do it, and just make sure it's a small target. Go around all 360 to make sure you're not digging something huge. But that's what you got to do. So I've dug 15 shotgun shells. Finally got me an Indian, and it's an 1887, by the way. All right, let's go find some more stuff. Oh, that Indian head penny was right there 5 minutes later, just walking around this old rock. Beautiful stone wall in the woods here. Something was going on here. There's not a cellar hole, but I just kind of peeked the crest of a hill here. So maybe something was going on. It actually looks like maybe there was a break in the wall there, so maybe an entrance to one of the fields. And this was a good stopping point because the ground is halfway leveled out here. It's kind of steep coming up to here. Anyway, got a mid-tone pulled out of the hole, and I got myself my first flat button of the day. Shank is broken off, and it's typical for most of the buttons. They're all usually plain Janes unless they're Tomback buttons or earlier style. So I'm going to go mid-1800s on this. That kind of dates this old card road, early to mid-1800s. Very nice. I'll keep it and clean it up, and we'll get you a shot in the wrap-up. All right, on to the next. And on to our next find here, guys. Right in front of this lily bed, I am kind of closer to one of these older cellar holes. 1850s map only. So you're going to find modern stuff here because there's a vast trail near here, but there's definitely old stuff here. Look at this. Cool. Like an old sash buckle. That's at least what I think it is. Maybe a hat buckle. You guys can tell me, but it's ornate here on the end. See that? It's got like a little flower pattern. Some sort of sash or cloak buckle from way back. I'm going to say Civil War on back to the early 1800s. Because again, on the 1871 Beers map, I think, these houses were not here. So that's definitely cool. And it's got a flower pattern. So I'll take a little bit of light brushing to that, and I will clean it up and show you a cleaned up shot here in the paper towel or green velvet wrap-up. Great find. All right, on to the next find. Let's see if we can find a few more things, guys. Well, the sash buckle was right there, and 1 minute later, after I covered my hole, got another nice mid-tone, and let's discover it together, guys. I see something round right there in the hole. Is that part of a lantern? Could that be part of a bridal rosette? Could that be part of something else? I don't know. Let's see if we can find out together and see if we can get it out. It's got some thickness to it, unfortunately. Hold on, let me get my shovel here and see if we can get it out together. There we go. I think I got it now. That is going to be part of a lantern, I think. Let me just... Yep, sure is. Part of a smashed lantern top. Find quite a few of those. Not a bad find. I mean, this is crumpled up, so I'll probably end up tossing this one. I only keep the ones that are in really good shape now because I've got so many of these things. A very common find at old cellar holes. Lantern tops in the woods. There you go. All right, on to the next. Back for my next find, guys. Man, the black flies are bad. They are suddenly out here in Vermont, and I don't care how much off or DEET you spray on you, they are all over me, biting me. So I got I'm half swatting my coil and half swatting with my shovel, trying to keep them out of my face. But here's my next find, and I'm going to tell you what, guys. This is my most unique find of the year, and I challenge anybody in America to find one like this. Talk about weird. Look at that. It's an eagle claw, or a raptor claw around a ball. Broken off right there. Is that weird or what? You can see there like the talons. I mean, I guess it could be a dinosaur. I don't know, but it looks like the talons of a bird of prey around a ball. And right now it doesn't look like the ball has anything on it, but I'll wipe it off and see if it's got any markings or anything on it. Weird and wonderful, huh? I guess that's one of the cool things about metal detecting. You never know what's going to pop out of the ground. This is an old site, so this is something from way back. I don't know what it is, though. Maybe some sort of ornament for a horse or a buggy or some sort of mantelpiece. Who knows? Cool find nonetheless, though. All right, guys, I'm about ready to head back around and walk the 2 miles back out of here. This is like the third cellar hole on this road, and I basically just got to do a 180 and start heading back down. So I'll spend another few minutes here, and then we'll see what I can get back down the road before I hit my car again. All right, on to the next. Okay, coming back down the road, heading back home. Long walk out of here, but I'm walking the other side of the road coming back. Always check these roads, guys. And you know what? It's all about location. I should say that too. I mean, I don't have a fancy machine, and I'm not trying to boast or anything. This is just a $250 machine, $200 machine. But it can see down 6 inches, and you know what? That'll get 80% of the stuff you're going to find. Sure, the deuce and some of the fancy machines will definitely get better, but location is everything. And I dug down here, and I thought it could be a shotgun shell, but it was deep, and doggone it, I got myself another coin. And I cannot see what that is, but that is deep, so that's got to be an Indian. If that's a wheat, I'm really surprised. I'm gonna have to let that dry out. It's greeny, and you know what? I think I see a wreath right there. That one's going to be a little bit cruddier than the other one, surprisingly, because the other one was much shallower on top of kind of a rock. But I think I'm going to call that an Indian. I'll get it scraped up and see what I got here in just a minute, and I'll get you a shot here. Awesome, another old coin from the 1800s. On to the next. All right, everybody, more weird and wonderful stuff. Check this out. What on earth is this? This was all together down in that hole right there. And I started rubbing it off, and I said, man, that looks like that's silver. I mean, there's no way it's down there in that hole for this long and this old of a site and come out like that. And then I read it, and it says something quadruple silver plate, 1279 with a lion on it. So I am not sure exactly what that is. This thing was in there with it. So I don't know if that's part of a... Man, the black flies are bad here. I'm sorry, my camera's shaky. I don't know if that's still a part of a lantern or what that is. Isn't that weird? You guys give me a guess on what that is. Maybe I'll look up that mark. I think there's a Makers on the top of that thing that says crown silver, or it says quadruple silver plate. So I don't know. Very strange. I'm going to guess a lantern piece, but man, it's heavy. It's not as light as like a typical lantern part. Interesting find. Any guesses out there, let me know. All right, let's see if we can find a few more things. I'm heading out. I got about another mile left. On to the next. All right, almost back to the car, folks. Probably another 10 minutes to go. Right on the side of the road here. Got a screaming signal right there. I was surprised it was that shallow. And look what I got. I think I got myself a part of an old Rains guide. I think it's snapped off right there, so this is just going to be the loop part. Man, hard to miss that signal, like a 90, 88 at about 4 or 5 inches. I thought I was going to have myself a large copper. It sounded really sweet, but oh well, I'll take it. An old Rains guide from the 1800s. All right, guys, on to the next. Welcome back inside for the Green Velvet wrap-up. Thanks for joining me today. That was a great hunt, about 4 or 5 hours, a lot of walking and a lot of swinging around. A huge property, 700 acres with a number of cellar holes, 2 of which I've yet even to come across yet. They're on one of the older maps, and I've got to go out there and bushwhack and GPS my way back through the woods because I don't think there's any roads to those other 2 sites. But let me do a quick wrap-up of what I did find today. A couple things I didn't get on film. Got this Woody's broken part of a suspender clip. That's pretty modern, 1940s or 50s, something like that. That was in the road. I did get another escutcheon piece to an old dresser or wardrobe, something like that. That's always a nice keeper, and I just Brilloed that up with a Brillo pad. And let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, I got this kind of weird item, some sort of strange buckle or apparatus to the side of an old cart or buggy or something like that. I'm not sure. If anybody has an idea on that, let me know, but I kept that anyway. All right, on to the stuff I did film. I got my musket ball here. Always good to find some old lead. Those are always quite common finds. Got a flat button here. Got my 2 Indians. This one is in the best shape, the 1887, and I already showed you a close-up shot on these 2 Indians. Surprisingly, that one was the shallower of the 2. This one was down about 6 inches, but it's much toastier. 1896 on that guy. So both of those are nice keepers. Got another music reed, G sharp on that guy. When I was cleaning it, I broke off the little music reed part of there in the interior. Those are very brittle and thin, and you can break them off pretty easily. So I was kind of bummed on that. Got my nice sash buckle, probably mid or even early 1800s, and I Brilloed that up, and you can see the nice floral pattern on that. Just simple. This would be would go around either by the neck for a cloak buckle or for a sash buckle on the side. So very nice, probably for a woman. So I definitely kept that. Got my keel plate, boiled it in water, and I straightened it out as much as I could. It's very fragile, and if I bent it too much more, it would probably snap in half. But nice hexagonal old heel plate, probably mid-1800s on that. That's a great find. And then I got my Rains guide, one of my last finds of the day. Broken off, but this is definitely an older variety. Very cool. So I'll take that as well. And then on to the weird and wonderful. I got my Eagle Raptor's Claw silver plate broken off here. What I think this is probably a leg from a small jewelry box or an urn or something like that. Probably there would have been several others, 2 or 3 others, depending if it was a 4-legged or 3-legged type of piece. And then this would attach to the main base and broken off. Very cool and very weird. I Brilloed that up. It's got a lot of corrosion on it because it was just silver plate, so I don't know how much more I'm going to work on that. But that's just unique, especially for something from an older site like that. So that was cool. And then I also got my silver plated thing that I showed you the close-up of. And again, the patent date on this is August 1863. I believe this is the top of either a coffee pot or some sort of urn, or maybe like a tea kettle. If you look at it, it does have, again, the ornate pattern around it. That's kind of very cool. And again, it's silver plated, so a lot of the exterior part of it is kind of corroded away, but the interior part had remained intact for all these years, 150 years of that. Meridian Company out of Meridian, Connecticut, quadruple silver plate. And if you do a Google search, you can find a number of references on those. I didn't find the exact apparatus that this thing might have gone to, but that's my best guess. But a cool find nonetheless. All right, that's all I got for this time. Again, I appreciate you for joining me on this next hunt here in mid-May, and that's a site that I'm definitely going back to. In the next couple of weeks, I'm probably going to have to spend quite a bit more time there. It's about an hour's drive away and a lot of hiking, so you really got to almost reserve a full day to hunt that place because it's so spread out. But a lot of goodies lay in wait there, despite there being a public trail through the area, because there's just so much land to cover and so much history there. All right, well, that's it for this time. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, this is BTV Digger. And always remember, get out there and dig it up. It's waiting for you there to find.